want to. Well, the forum says Nigeria cannot afford another war in a bid to keep the Igbos as part of the nation. Well, the spokesman of the Northern Group says citizens are paying the price for the failure of the government to halt the slide of the country into anarchy. Well, the group is accusing political leaders in the southeast of yielding to the violence of the secessionist group, the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, their militant wing, the Eastern Security Network, ESN.
The forum has arrived at the difficult conclusion that if support for secession among the Igbo is as widespread as it is being made to look, and Igbo leadership appears to be in support of it, then the country should be advised not to stand in its way. It will not be the best choice for the Igbo or Nigerians to leave a country we have all toiled to build, and a country we all have responsibility to fix. But it will not help a country already burdened with failures on its knees to fight another war to keep the Igbo in Nigeria. This forum insists that attacks and killings of northerners and federal government employees and destruction of national assets must stop. Those who have been involved in it must be arrested and prosecuted. Until the Igbo decide whether it wants to secede or remain part of Nigeria, the law applies to it, and the federal and state governments who have responsibility to enforce the law and protect citizens must enforce it. We support calls for northerners who are exposed to harassment and violence to consider relocating to the north.
We don't need a southern or a northern president. See what Nigeria need. NEF Dr. Akeem Baba Ameed says. NEF, the Northern Elders Forum, has made it clear that the regions in the north would be forced by nobody in 2023 to vote for any presidential candidates against their will. He said that while they spoke against the backdrop of the clamor for political power to go back to the south with a southern presidency, this was said through the spokesperson of NEF, Dr. Akeem Baba Ameed. He also said that those championing the call for the southern presidency have to prove that they deserve it by working for it. He added that what the country needs at this time and going forward is not a northern or southern president, but a Nigerian president. We don't want another tribal or regional president, he told the nation in an interview in Kaduna. According to Baba Ameed, Nigerian voters should be allowed to choose their leader in 2023 without undue pressure. Power does not return or go anywhere. Power is determined by voters. This is why we have a democratic process. We are a democratic country, he said in response to a question on the recent calls by southern governors and presidency and should return to the south after President Muhammadu Buhari's tenure in 2023. Voters should decide who they want to vote for. Since 1999, Nigerians have been voting, and we voted a southern president in 1999 to 2007. When then voters a northern president we then voted a northern president in 2007, who ruled for only 2 years, and a southern president completed his tenure and was voted again in 2011. Then we voted a northern president in 2015. In all this time, it was the power of the voters that determined who becomes the president. Voters don't carry regional connotation. The democratic process says the Nigerians should exercise their rights, that every Nigerian above the age of 18 is qualified to vote for who they want to be president, and that is it. You can't arm twist. You can't arm twist that provision at all. He noted that regardless of region, the political parties decide to pick their candidates from. It is the voters that will eventually decide who becomes the next leader of the country after President Muhammadu Buhari. If we have 5 parties and one of the parties field a northern candidate and the northern candidate calls the highest vote, it becomes the president. So you cannot force a voter to choose a candidate that is not his choice just because the candidate comes from a particular region of the country. You can't tie up northern elders or northern voters completely. You can't tie up northern voters completely and totally and say that he must not vote for any party that fields a northerner for the position of the president. So you need to persuade people. You need to do the hard work of politics. People who believe that nothing in a southern president is central to the survival of this country should, in the name of God, get up and do the real work of lobbying and politicking and persuade people that the future of this country is contingent on the emergence of a southern president. But you can't do it by threats, intimidation, and blackmail. If you keep pushing the rhetoric that must be southern president, or you will lead this country or the heavens will fall, then northern voters will say, what about my right to choose whoever I want? What do you do with my rights? How can you force me to choose a southerner if I have a choice to choose a northerner or southerner? That is the point we have been making. You can't legislate this. It is not in the law. So the NEF spokesman also blamed the various agitations and calls for secession by some people in the country on the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, saying that the current president has pursued the country the country apart, and they have divided the country apart, and the like of Nnamdi Kanu and Sunday Igboho are only pressing the view of many Nigerians who don't even have the platform to express themselves. According to him, all these arguments we are making about lack of inclusion, abusing our diversity, have their roots in the way in which this president runs his government. People don't feel belonged anymore, and the same people who are saying that they are not part of the country or of the Buhari's administration are not saying that give us this presidency. No, He said that the presidency has failed to address issues that give choice or that give chance to heredities, secessionists, adventurers, and killers who ride on this idea that this part of the country does not belong to Nigeria, and he has failed to reach out and find a way to integrate them into Main Street political system. That is the job. You can't be different to sentiment in Southeast. You cannot be indifferent to what is happening in Southwest and still happen and still hope that you can run a safe and secured country. You ought to have detected this a long time ago and moved to nip it in the bud and assure communities that will originally feel that people like Igbohu and Nnamdi Kanu have a case to make. They have no case to make. Every element and every community in Nigeria has been sidelined by incompetence, by indifference, and by a president who does not think that it is his job to perform the political role of the leader. So that is the mismanagement that people talk about. It is sad and tragic that we are where we are today when we should be stronger politically. We are not. Thank you, viewers, for listening to this news. What is your take on